Welcome to Steelman, where we analyze debate without bias, using competitive debate theory to score real-world arguments, no matter who's making them.
Frankly, I find this whole thing a waste of time. If you want to read the book and critique the book, why don't you read and critique the book? If you want to critique me, you can think whatever you want of me.
Why don't you
frankly,
just try and
I don't
answer
care.
the
I don't frankly give a damn what you think of me since I've never heard of you.
Ben Shapiro, Andrew Neil, a BBC interview that went completely off the rails. One walked out, the other kept pressing. But who actually won this debate? This is Ben Shapiro, conservative media star, sitting down with veteran BBC journalist Andrew Neil. What was supposed to be a book interview turned into a masterclass in how not to handle hostile questioning. Shapiro stormed out, Neil delivered a brutal closing line, and millions watched the meltdown. But here's what everyone missed. Using competitive debate scoring, we can see exactly where this went wrong and who actually argued better. More importantly, we'll show you the exact techniques you can use to handle tough questions, no matter your political views. First, let's understand what we're watching. This isn't a debate, it's a hostile interview. In debates, both sides get equal time and structure. In hostile interviews, the interviewer controls the pace, picks the topics, and can interrupt at will. The key difference: in debates, you attack your opponent's position. In hostile interviews, they attack your credibility using your own words. Completely different skill set required.
You worked for the right-wing Breitbart website, but you left over its support for Donald Trump. And I think you said you'd never vote for Mr. Trump. Why is that?
Neil opens with what seems like a softball, asking about Shapiro leaving Breitbart, but this is a classic setup technique called establish standards then attack. Watch how Neil is building a trap. Pause here. What would you say? Remember, anything you say about your principles will be used against you later. How do you answer honestly without giving ammunition?
Well, in 2016, 2016, the Breitbart made a hard turn in favor of one particular candidate, and that's their prerogative. Lots of publications have an editorial point of view, and Breitbart was one of those.
Here's what I would have said instead. I left when editorial integrity was compromised, but I'm here to discuss my book about reducing political anger, which affects both sides. See how that acknowledges the question but pivots to your chosen message. You're not hiding your principles, but you're not elaborating on internal conflicts either. Neil scores 4, 3, 5. Good content, calm manner, excellent setup strategy. Shapiro gets 3, 4, 2. Detailed but defensive, confident delivery, but he's playing Neil's game.
Would you vote for Mr. Trump in 2020?
I'd certainly consider voting for Mr. Trump in 2020, just like I'd consider voting for anybody else in 2020.
But didn't you once say that you'd never vote for him?
Here's the trap Neil set in round 1 paying off. He established Shapiro as principled. Now he's exposing inconsistency. This is called the consistency trap, using someone's stated values to attack their current positions. How do you escape this? 3 options. Acknowledge growth, distinguish contexts, or show the principle is actually consistent. Let's see what Shapiro did.
I said that I wouldn't vote for him in 2016. And then I wrote a column for National Review explaining the conditions under which I might change my mind.
Better response. I've been consistent in my principles. Character matters, but so does policy. In 2016, I prioritized character concerns. Now, having seen his policies in action, I weigh them differently. That's not flip-flopping. That's incorporating new information while maintaining core values. See how that reframes inconsistency as intellectual growth rather than hypocrisy? Neil scores 4, 4, 4, solid execution of his strategy. Shapiro gets 2, 3, 3, caught off guard, losing composure, weak defense.
Would seem to take us back to the Dark Ages, Georgia, new abortion laws, which you are much in favor of.
Well, okay, a couple of things. One, I'm not sure, frankly, I don't know whether are you an objective journalist or are you an opinion journalist?
I'm a journalist that asks questions.
This is where everything falls apart for Shapiro, and it teaches us the most important debate lesson: emotional regulation. Neil uses loaded language, barbaric, dark ages, not to state his opinion, but to test Shapiro's reaction. When someone attacks with charged language, you have 3 choices: match their energy and escalate, attack their credibility, or stay calm and reframe. Guess which one works? What's your move here? The loaded language is obvious bait. How do you respond without taking it?
Okay, so you're a supposedly objective journalist calling policies with which you disagree barbaric and suggesting only one side of the political aisle has ideas. So I just want to point out that I wish you would at least be honest in your own biases.
Mr. Shapiro,
so
I know
are you a member of the...
in America is now so polarized that on one program you only have the left and another one you just have the right. My job is to question those who have strong views and put an alternative to them. If you were an anti-abortion person, I would be putting...
Here's the play. Those are strong words, Andrew. Let me address the substance. These policies reflect the view that human life has value from conception. You may disagree, but calling that position barbaric says more about the current debate climate than the policy itself. Notice how that acknowledges the charged language without getting defensive, then redirects to substance while subtly criticizing the interviewer's approach?
Pro-abortion questions to you, but you are
really. Would you call the pro-choice position?
So why don't you just answer my question,
sir? I'm happy to answer your question.
Neil's strategy is working perfectly. He stays calm while Shapiro gets more agitated. Neil scores 3, 5, 4. Provocative content, excellent composure, good strategic pressure. Shapiro gets 2, 2, 1. Weak arguments, poor emotional control, terrible strategy.
And you're Jewish yourself. I only mention that because to put this in context. The Jews who vote for Obama are, by and large, Jews in name only. Ginos, you call them.
Neil shifts to controversial past statements. This is Opposition Research 101, using your own words against you. Every public figure faces this, so here's how to handle it. When confronted with old statements, you have 4 options: own it completely, contextualize it, admit evolution, or show misrepresentation. Never do what Shapiro does next: attack the process itself.
This is a giant waste of time in the sense that the entire interview is designed for you to shout slogans or old things that I've said at me. I don't see how this forwards the debate. You talk about undermining the public discourse.
Much better approach. I've made mistakes in how I've expressed certain views, particularly on social media where nuance gets lost. That specific tweet was poorly worded and doesn't reflect my actual beliefs about most Palestinian people who deserve dignity and security just like Israelis do. That acknowledges the mistake without attacking the interviewer or claiming persecution. When a debater says this is a waste of time, they're essentially admitting defeat. Neil scores 4, 5, 3. Good preparation, excellent pressure, decent execution. Shapiro gets 1, 2, 1. Weak defense, poor composure, awful strategy.
I don't frankly give a damn what you think of me since I've never heard of you.
Not part of American political discourse now, Mr. Shapiro. We'll say goodbye.
And here's the ultimate debate disaster. Walking out is admitting you can't handle the pressure, but Neil's response is devastating.
The person is badly motivated as you, as an interviewer. So I think we're done here. I appreciate your time, sir.
All right.
Thank you so much.
Thank you for your time and for showing that anger is not part of American political discourse now, Mr. Shapiro. We'll say goodbye.
Even if you want to end the interview, there's a professional way. Andrew, I came here to discuss my book's solutions for political discourse. If you prefer to relitigate past statements, we'll have to agree this isn't productive. Thanks for your time. That maintains dignity while clearly stating your position. Neil scores 5, 5, 5. Perfect execution. Shapiro gets 1, 1, 1. Complete meltdown. Let's recap the techniques you can use when facing tough questions. 1. Prepare for your own weaknesses. They will be used against you. 2. When baited with loaded language, stay calm and reframe to substance. 3. For past statements, own mistakes quickly and show growth. 4. Never attack the questioner's motives. Attack their premises instead. 5. Have a professional exit strategy if needed. These work whether you're conservative, liberal, or anywhere in between. The goal is better arguments, not better politics. Overall interview score: Andrew Neil, 65 out of 75, 87%. Ben Shapiro, 29 out of 75, just 39%. Winner, Andrew Neil by a landslide. But the real winner should be you. Now you know how to handle hostile questioning like a pro. What's the toughest question you've ever faced? How would you handle it now? Let me know in the comments.